All right, so I've kind of needed to do this for a second. I'm going to go ahead and do another Honest Cash App review. We're going to talk about Viggle. I've heard so many mixed things about this application, and I've actually had a fair amount of experience with this application. And I know for some people it turns out to be an app that's really, really successful for them. And then for some people it's just an application that makes you want to pull your hair out and you just don't even want to mess with it. But yeah, today we'll go in depth with how you can work with Viggle, how you can maximize your earnings with Viggle, and we're going to talk about a Facebook page that can help you to maximize your earnings with Viggle. There's kind of two right and wrong ways to go into this app, and I want to say I also had a request to do a review of this app, and I had planned to do a Honest Cash App review. So this it's like it was kind of meant to be that I do this video and get it out there. But to go into depth, there is a Facebook page that's called Viggle Nation. For the person that wants to use this application, I highly recommend that you go to Viggle Nation. You become involved with the page. I will say this, I had kind of a bad experience with Viggle Nation. As far as I don't think it was the community so much as the person that, or persons, I'm not sure if there's more than one person that runs the page, but I had a bad experience with the person that runs the page. Basically, all I wanted to do was, comment in some of the posts and say that I have some information to help out people with making money with this application, and they could check out my YouTube channel. And she said she wasn't very sure about me posting my YouTube link, and I was like, well, I'm okay with that. So I went to go and explain that I had a Facebook where they could contact me there, and then they could go, if they chose to, they could go to my YouTube channel. And I noticed that my comment was deleted. So at that point, I left the page entirely. So I would be careful going into Viggle Nation. Be careful about how you get involved with basically that page and what you say to people. You don't want to be booted out. I left the page. I decided to just get away from Viggle entirely, mainly because of issues that I was having with Viggle Nation, and then just like the vibe that I got from the app. Where I saw that my earnings would be with trying to integrate that in the hassle that I would have went through to get it to where it was maximized as far as earnings. They do these streams for the content that is on Viggle. And what you do with Viggle, you launch the app, you go to whatever video or something that you're watching on television, whether it be a movie, whether it be a television show, and you basically check in to watching that film. And Viggle will from there listen to what you're watching and confirm that you're watching that, and then you earn points alongside watching that show or movie. So they have streams on their page. Basically, I can't understand how someone could say, don't do this, and you're doing something that literally is not even with the terms and conditions of perk. And this person had explained to me also that they have perk employees that are currently on Viggle. So it didn't really add up to me. It didn't make much sense as far as like if you're a perk employee, you're allowing this web page to host this kind of information. I don't want to get too far off track though. As far as what I think you could earn with this application, if you had so many devices, I believe that their device limit as far as check-ins go, you're only supposed to do check-ins with one device. Now that does not go to say that you could not have more than one device using this application. It's just as far as their check-ins portion of it, you want to be careful about how many devices you do a check-in with. Now, in my scenario, with the fact that I do have two different internet connections and there are two different people in this home, and I have verified two different perk accounts in my home, my scenario would be slightly different. So this is why I've been talking about going into depth with a video that talks about setting up a second internet connection. But yeah, as far as Viggle goes, if I had to tell you what I thought that you could make on a monthly basis, if you bent the rules, and I've heard of people doing that, and it's kind of gotten them the slap on the wrist, so to speak. If you bend the rules, I've heard that people have ran 20 devices on this application, and we're seeing. I don't want to be 100% wrong about that. It was either 10 or 20 devices, and they were seeing $1 per day per device, or $2 per day. I can't remember specifically, but I was talking to another fellow phone farmer who does this, or was using that application in that way, and was seeing $20 a day off of that. It led to him basically receiving a soft ban, so to speak, and I believe they took away his perk plastic. So definitely not going to say any names here on YouTube. I'm not going to throw anyone under the bus. That definitely is not in my characteristic to do anything like that. But if I had to tell you what I thought you could make with Viggle, and whether you should use it or not use it, I would say it's one of these applications that you want to focus on your passive applications first. So that's something you could get into. Let's say you start building up your phone farm, you get to where you've got a bunch of devices, you could check out Viggle. You could try it out. You don't want to exceed a certain dollar amount with perk, and this is what I've heard. It's kind of the word that's floating around is you can make up to $20 a day with perk before you would risk being in any sort of a bad standing with them. I would not even want to press that. I would say if you make $10 a day off of an application, you better be happy with $10 a day. Now pressing it a little further and getting to $12 to $15, that's not too bad. Yeah, if I had to say overall though, what you could make with this application, if you did it on a kind of like a 4-device kind of range, or and only did check-ins with one device, I would say maybe you could earn around like $3, $4, maybe $5 on a good day. You could earn like $5, but you're going to sit here and have to do so much with this application to keep up with it and to keep it earning that, I mean, it could get to a point where it's counterproductive for you to just go through and do multiple different Viggle phones like that while you're trying to worry about your entire setup. So especially if you're trying to branch into doing surveys, that's something you have to think about. If you could have 2 different laptops, let's say, and do surveys, making money that way versus going through all of your routine, that you want to do the passive things and then focus on things. That's my opinion. Focus on things like surveys. Once you've exceeded everything you can do with your passive applications and websites, check out surveys. You would do better to make $3, $4, $5 off of surveys every single day than to sit here and have to click and stay stuck at your phone. And this is just my opinion. There's more money to be made than just having to focus on one application. But yeah, I hope that, for the person that requested this video, I hope you get some decent information out of this. I will say that a person should not expect much more than maybe $3 a day added to their income every single month running 4 devices. But I'm not going to say that is a 100% area of expertise with me, is to run that app, and I've not ran it as much as I probably could have. I've not tested out 5 to 10 devices or anything like that, so I have a certain amount of limited knowledge, and that's something that I can openly admit here on my channel. If anyone has had a different experience with Viggle, if you know some key things, definitely put them down here in the comments and let everyone know. So, we have this information out here for everyone to see. But yeah, if you get good information out of this video, definitely stay tuned in for more content. Yeah, and hit me up with a like.